2K Sports pregame show.
Welcome to the NBA on 2K Sports. I'm Ernie Johnson. Kenny the Jet Smith is here. Say hello to the folks.
Hey, hello to the folks.
Hey, Shaquille O'Neal is here. Say hey to the folks.
Hey, what up, folks?
The NBA's really rolling along at this point. Tonight we'll see the Oklahoma City Thunder playing against the Charlotte Hornets. And for Charlotte, they went 2-0 against this team last season, looking to continue that string of victories tonight. Well, Carmelo Anthony, an offensive force now for so many years in this league, not scoring maybe quite as much as he used to, but he still draws a lot of attention from the D.
Still gets those double teams. I would imagine that he's probably never played an NBA basketball game without being double teamed at some point. That would be
That's a great point.
Unique feeling. Shaq, I don't know anyone like that who's been doubled every game.
Me either. The attention he gets opens up things for his team. He just needs to get the ball to the right place.
Shaq, I've never heard anybody get doubled. Have you?
Me either.
Okay.
Because I got tripled.
Okay, there it is.
That does it for us. Thanks for tuning in. See you later.
Coming at you from the Peak Chesapeake Energy Arena in beautiful Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, as the Thunder prepare to take the floor. With Greg Anthony and Doris Burke, this is Kevin Harlan. David Aldridge will join us from the sidelines. First game of this trip here for the Hornets. They're hoping to start it off with a W.
And as you were mentioning, I mean, that trade has this team buzzing. You can see it in the warm-up line, how loose and confident they look now with him on that roster.
And Doris, we're in that kind of in-between area. You know, the luster of the season opener has now worn off. Not yet quite to the All-Star break. Crunch time, of course, is still a ways away. How do players go about maintaining that focus here at the midseason?
You know, I think this is interesting. If you're chasing greatness, we hear that expression a lot from LeBron James, I'm chasing greatness. I don't think focus is ever at issue. If you're the Golden State Warriors in the season, you have an opportunity to win 73 games. Focus is never an issue. What's fascinating to me is, can young players sustain attention for the 82-game grind, particularly those rookies? That is the group of players for whom I think it is most difficult.
And a look at the starters for the Hornets. Inside, Williams at the 4, Howard in the middle. Jeremy Lamb out there with Kemba Walker. And it's Batum in at the small forward position. Here's Walker, following the basket by Russell Westbrook. And Walker kicks to Williams. Batum against George. It's rebounded by Oklahoma City. Want to keep rolling here following the win against Memphis.
Executed on the road, stayed focused, stay consistent with who you are as a team.
No doubt. I mean, they played to their strengths, and that's what helped them get this road win. I loved how they played for each other.
Now here's Westbrook. Nicholas Batum unable to get his shot to go.
Well, with the defense laying off him, you know he's going to pull the trigger. They're lucky he didn't burn him.
And Walker kicks to Howard. The pass to Batum. Now here's Walker. He had 25 points in the win against the Lakers. And it's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot. They get Russell Westbrook. And last season, I think, Greg, there was a time when Kemba Walker was playing basketball, you know, as well as any point guard in the NBA.
No doubt. I mean, not to say he's the best in our league, but he is certainly climbing up the list. You can't ignore his impact on this team. Has worked to improve each season he's been in the league.
He's off on the first. Greg, you watch the Thunder play, and it's clear that this team comes out looking to attack. Everyone on the team wants to put it on the floor and go right at the rim.
And part of that is their leader, Westbrook, just setting the tone. I mean, team finished near the top in points in the paint last season, and the addition of Paul George just helps to enforce that strength.
And he's good on the second. And we're about a minute and a half into the first quarter. Let's go now to the sideline and catch up with David Aldridge.
Well, Billy Donovan gave me a few minutes. This is the first meeting of the season between these teams, and he stressed to his guys the need to rely on their instincts at the offensive end. He said, we do a good job of finding soft spots in defenses without forcing things. If we keep doing that, we'll be in good shape. We'll see if they can keep that up tonight, Kevin. Back to you.
Thanks for the report, David. So the goal is to come out early and get their shooters into a good rhythm right away.
And of course, that's always a goal. But the meaning behind it is that he wants them to play good, smart basketball, not taking too many chances.
Right. You've got to be able to use plenty of screens, not let players start to go one-on-one and try to do this thing individually. Run your sets, get the best shooters their shots.
Yeah, terrific play right there. Great strength to finish through the contact.
For Charlotte, they have gone 1 for 2 on the night so far from the line.
And they've done some really nice work at the foul line, knocking down 80%.
One shot, gentlemen.
That's good from Kemba Walker. And last season, Greg, one big issue for the Hornets was their bench.
And Charlotte tried their best to address that issue this past offseason. It just goes to show that you need to have a complete roster to compete. A lot of games were given away by the Hornets last year by losing ground when the starters left the court.
Boy, Melo has made a name for himself with his mid-range game, and you can see why right there.
Here's Batum, and he converts the layup. Batum's got his first 2 points of the night.
Boy, not a bad beginning. 3 for 4 from the floor. Pretty good start.
Kicks it to Robertson. It's stolen by Lamb. Here's Walker. It's hauled in by Adams.
Well, defenders are in the area, and that's all it took to force him to change his release.
Robertson gets the bucket.
Amazing recognition by Felton. Sees the wide open man, sends it on time and on target.
Now here's Walker. He has 6. Feeds it to Howard. Dishes it to Lamb. Down to 5 on the shot clock. And that comes off the assist by Dwight Howard.
Yeah, still commanding a lot of defensive attention. Howard just keeps his head up and finds the open man.
And first quarter, we're about 3.5 minutes in. And it's George missing.
Boy, for a capable three-point shooter, that's one he expects to make.
Lamb passes to Walker. From the arc. It's hauled in by Paul George. Oklahoma City trailer. Fires from 14. And Oklahoma City again with the bucket.
And Paul George very confident down on the low block. He positions himself well to get off any shot he wants.
Walker dishes to Howard. Felton against Walker. He kicks it to Williams. The Hornets need to get a shot off here. And it's Walker that time on the assist from Marvin Williams. 8 points for Kemba Walker.
Well, he just keeps rolling right now. What a terrific quarter for him on the offensive end.
Anthony kicks to Felton. Here's George. Again, Oklahoma City.
Yeah, Kevin, it's a must that you contest Paul George, especially from the mid-range. This is a dominant shooter from there.
On the wing, Lamb. He's making his presence felt offensively with his scoring average up.
Unbelievable.
That is not possible. What we just, is that possible?
I think it is, Greg. Not probable, but like possible, like you said. And the replay presented, of course, by Under Armour. Unleash chaos. Great stuff and some great basketball going on. Charlotte in the lead. Batum with the ball. Now Felton defending. Here's Lamb. His last outing, he had 8 points. The feed to Howard. Nice pass in here by Charlotte. And it's slammed in by Howard.
And Howard, always one of the top offensive rebounders in the league.
For Oklahoma City, they've gone 6 of 10 from the field in this ballgame. Felton against Walker. They set the pick. Felton kicks to Robertson. George up top. Screen by Adams. Clock at 4. Shot on the wing. It's deflected. Fast break now for Charlotte. Lamb leading the charge. Here's Williams. Makes it off the glass.
I'll tell you, that's aggressive passing. Threading it down low and setting up the bucket inside. Really nice.
They could use a big shot here to get this offense going.
Too many empty possessions. Right now, they need the basket.
And so it's going to be a 3-second violation out there on the defense. Doors, we've talked about the evolution of the specialist, the pure 3-and-D guy, for example, who in that category are some of the best in your opinion.
Well, I'm so happy that Klay Thompson has evolved from a guy who believed coming into the NBA that he would strictly be a 3-and-D guy to a much more versatile scorer. But in today's iteration, I would have to say Danny Green won a championship for the San Antonio Spurs, doing nothing but absorbing the biggest threat on the offensive end for the opponent and then being able to make huge threes at timely opportunities. Patrick Beverley, another guy grinding it out, increasingly making shots, and of course tenacious on-ball defender.
Patterson, he's checked in for Oklahoma City. Alex Abrinas comes in for Andre Robertson. So an almost entirely new group in now for Charlotte. Kaminsky, he's checked in for Williams. Michael Kidd-Gilchrist comes in for Nicholas Batum. Monks checked in for Jeremy Lamb. And it's Carter Williams in for Kemba Walker. Here's Carter Williams, and so he earns a trip to the line. Official saw the contact, and he'll shoot 2.
I mean, even from over here, you can see that one pretty clearly.
The Hornets have gone 2 for 3 at the foul line in this one.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
And the first one at the line is good.
Well, if you think back to last season, guys, the narrative was that Russell Westbrook had 0 help on this roster. To be completely honest, I thought it was unfair to the pieces that were around Russell Westbrook and the job they did playing their roles to exactly the standard this organization wanted.
Catching up on the changes for Oklahoma City. Nick Collison's checked in for Adams. And it's Brewer in for Paul George. Carter Williams hits them both. And what the fans are saying is that Westbrook, Doris, just needs more help around him.
Well, certainly the acquisition of Paul George should relieve some pressure on Russell Westbrook because now he's teamed along yet another superstar. Now, that's where they want to go with the ball. They can tolerate a few misses as long as he gets his touches inside.
And I love the way he uses his size there to make sure he gets that board.
Here's Collison. It's rebounded by Charlotte. Their last game a win against the Lakers, looking to carry it into this one.
Yeah, unfortunately for them, I thought the opponent's defense just never showed up.
I mean, you have to question their effort, Greg. They did a great job at penetrating and kicking out. The defense simply wasn't up to the task. I'll tell you, that's a graceful finish. Not just any old layup. The teardrop.
Carter Williams, the pass to Kaminsky, and finished off by Kaminsky.
And he can do a lot more damage to the rim than that when he wants to.
Oh, you're right. And with the lead they're enjoying, I'm surprised he didn't put a little something extra on that one. Collison with a screen on Carter Williams. Here's Felton, and 2 free throws coming up, unable to get that one to go with all the contact. And where have the shots been coming from tonight? Here's a look broken down by paint, mid-range, and three-point shot attempts so far for Charlotte.
And even when the deep three has been there, they've stayed away from it. They're working hard to get shots from close range, resisting that urge to get too loose with their shot selection.
First one falls for him.
And looking at this Charlotte roster, really the strength of it is their perimeter play. A good collection of dynamic playmakers and shooters from that point guard to small forward position. They are the bulk of this team's offensive threats.
Raymond Felton hits them both. Greg, the Hornets were strong outside, but weak inside. I guess they've addressed that weakness, going for Dwight Howard.
Yeah, they went out and got what they felt could be an anchor on that front line. And listen, he's going to provide that rim presence that they lacked a season ago. The question is, can he also give them some punch offensively?
Carter Williams kicks to Hernan Gomez. And the dunk to finish it off. A beauty.
And this is what the coaches want to see more of from Willie, attacking the rim with big-time attitude.
Abrinas the pass to Collison. He dishes it to Brewer. And again, no good by Oklahoma City.
Just doing the job on the backboard.
Monk kicks to Hernan Gomez. Carter Williams with it. Now Felton defending. They set the pick. Here's Monk. Off the left rim and out.
Well, can't find the target, but good work to get into open space inside the arc.
In the corner, it's Felton. Down low, here's Patterson. Uses the glass to finish the layup.
Well, we know that Patrick Patterson can step away and be a force as a face-up guy, but still plenty dangerous inside.
The dish to Monk. Now here's Kid Gilchrist, covered by Brewer, and slam dunk by Kid Gilchrist.
And Kevin, plays like that, really the reason they've got a nice lead right now. Just a great job on the glass.
And Greg, the jam and the follow gets their whole bench jumping. Look at them, they are really into it.
The other bench deflated because that was a rough sequence for the defense. They hated to give up those points, but did nothing to stop it.
Felton against Carter Williams. Count it. And that's now 6 points for Raymond Felton.
I'll tell you, good or not, that isn't a shot they'll want him to take again.
Carter Williams, the pass to Hernan Gomez. He got right to the cup using that screen. And the Hornets lead by 5. 1:57 left to play in the first quarter. They set the pick. Felton kicks to Collison. Now here's Brewer. Tight defense on him. Shoots a fader. Again, Oklahoma City.
And very little defense here to start the game.
Boy, both teams rolling right now on the offensive end. We got a little barn burner cooking.
Kaminsky kicks to Kid Gilchrist. No good on that one. And Oklahoma City will go with it the other way. Outside, Felton. It's stolen by Carter Williams. Here's Hernan Gomez, and it's thrown down hard with both hands.
And guys got careless with the ball there, and the turnover leads to the big stuff.
Once he came upright with the steal, he went straight on the attack.
Fantastic anticipation. Then he shows major explosiveness converting at the other end.
Oh, a good open look, and he sprays it home from 3.
Charlotte in the lead. 44 seconds left in the first quarter. Here's Monk. Gets that one to fall after missing his first 2. 1 for 3 from the field.
Yeah, that was the 3rd straight high percentage look the defense has allowed. The defenders have got to start putting bodies on bodies.
Collison dishes to Brewer. Oklahoma City moving it around. Abrinas' shot is off. Now here's Kaminsky. Patterson defending. Right side, Kid Gilchrist. And the 3 off target. Back to the action after this word. And power forward Patrick Patterson, getting better every season. He said that his college career at Kentucky really helped prepare him for his life as a pro.
I think my 3 years at Kentucky, caused what I am now, as far as being a sound player, a guy who's not all about himself, who puts his team first and who works hard and who doesn't talk back, who doesn't do the negative things. He's a team player, he's a team guy, and he works hard.
Patterson Clark, exactly the guy he says he is, and that's why he's one of those glue guys you've got to have on your team.
And the kind of guy who his teammates love, because they know he's always going to have their back, always going to work hard, and always going to bring it.
And now the second quarter just getting set to start. And let's quickly break down the game, guys, we've been watching from the Hornets.
Hustling on that offensive glass, that's led to a number of second chance points.
I don't think the defense has been very good, and right now they're letting them pounce all over them and get second chance opportunities.
We've got Russell Westbrook. Brewer is out there with Patrick Patterson. Then there's Nick Collison, and it's Abrinas in at the 2 guard. That's the lineup in the game for Oklahoma City. And with that, the Hornet lead is cut down to 2 on the bucket from Russell Westbrook.
You think about what Coach Billy Donovan has had to deal with in terms of his roster makeup in his tenure in Oklahoma City. You begin with Kevin Durant and Serge Ibaka. Then you lose both those guys after your first year. And now you add Paul George. Through it all, Billy has been able to keep this team competitive.
Pass to Brewer. Back to Westbrook. Hernan Gomez grabs the miss. Hernan Gomez has got his 3rd rebound on the night. Kid Gilchrist the pass to Carter Williams. And count it, and a chance for one more at the free throw line.
And guys, they continue to put a lot of pressure on the interior defenders with their work down low.
Doris, you were born in New York, became the first female analyst to ever call a Knicks game. Talk about the emotions that night, having traveled that incredible journey.
You know, Kev, it was both magical and nerve-wracking. You know, I grew up a Knicks fan when there was a healthy Bernard King, and the league had absolutely nothing for him when he was doing work on the low post. Hubie Brown was an idol of mine. But it was also nerve-wracking to be the first woman to sit in Clyde Frazier's seat. It was sort of awe-inspiring and a ton of fun.
Thunder trailing by 8. Guys, they're looking for a way to score here.
Yeah, they've had a tough time taking the lid off.
Here's Anthony. And a big bounce off the rim, but it sinks right in.
You know, that's what he does so well, and why Melo is such a reliable scorer.
Batum with the ball, and he can be counted on to put some points on the board every night. He's averaging right around 13.5 points a game.
And defensively, guys, they've been unable to shut down the middle.
He gets a chance now to catch up with the 4th member of our crew, Hall of Famer David Aldridge.
Hey guys, something special is brewing in Charlotte. Point guard Kemba Walker said, "It's a great start. We know how to play with each other, and we love playing with each other. The best thing is how hard we all work. We're going to grow." Kevin?
And that kind of optimism is terrific, David. Thank you. Walker and the Charlotte Crews seem to be a perfect match. Anthony against Williams. Passes it to Roberson. Adams with the screen on Carter Williams. And Roberson kicks to Adams. He used that pick to get in close. Adams has got his 2nd bucket of the night.
Steven Adams takes pride in being a great screen setter. I think this guy creates so many opportunities for his teammates.
Batum dishes to Williams. An easy layup after coming off the pick. Williams has got the lead up to 8 now for Charlotte.
And good passing, setting up a lot of these buckets right now, Kevin. That's been the key.
Screen by Adams. Back to Westbrook. Pulls it from 20. Bank shot, no good.
I'll tell you, it'd be a big help if he could snap out of this cold streak. His shooting has been hurting them.
Pushing their lead to double digits. And it's a 10-point Hornets lead.
And it just seems that every pass they make is leading to a score. Just great ball movement.
Timeout is called. First of the game for the Thunder. And Marvin Williams, for a long while, had been viewed as a tweener. You know, a player who is stuck somewhere, Greg, between the small and power forward positions.
Yeah, and for a lot of players, that is plenty to get you minutes. I mean, Williams has improved on his defense here later in his career, and he shot more threes, and it's really become a weapon for him over the course of his career.
Charlotte making a switch here. Walker's checked in. And a little under 3.5 minutes elapsed in the 2nd quarter of play.
And plays like that demonstrate Paul George's athletic ability. He's not just an elite scorer, he is a high flyer.
Walker the pass to Williams. Here's Batum. That one drops for him. Batum's got 4 points in the quarter.
And they're beginning to just flat out fall apart defensively right now, especially on the interior.
Here's Westbrook. Rebounded by Howard. Howard's got 4 rebounds in this game.
Well, Despite his struggles from the field in this period, you know he's going to keep asking for the basketball. The only way he doesn't finish is if the defense gets in his face. Nice job.
Anthony kicks to George. Screen by Adams. And George, here we go. That shot off.
And it's not easy to get those stops at the rim, but he does a great job with it.
Yeah, he can make it look simple on the interior when it's really not. He knew exactly how to guard on the inside.
Down low. Here's Adams. Lays it in without an inch of room around him. Adams has got 6.
Listen, we know Steven Adams is one of the best offensive rebounders in the NBA. You've got to have great awareness about him on the glass.
Howard setting the pick for Walker. Inside. That's good from Howard on the assist by Walker. Howard's got the lead, back up to 10 now for Charlotte.
A physical basketball there, and in the best sense. A hard screen allows him to shake the defender and get to the bucket for the layup.
Westbrook dishes to Adams. Back to Westbrook. Basket is good, and he'll get a chance for one more at the free throw line.
You must respect the strength of Russell Westbrook. Boy, even when you foul him, he can still finish. Boy, what about last season for Russell Westbrook? Not only the numbers he put up, but the jaw-dropping plays he delivered, and he helped this Thunder team to a season where many thought they'd be out of the playoff picture. He gets them into the playoffs. Incredible journey.
The free throw drops for Russell Westbrook. And for Westbrook, you have to look at his season in a historical context. It was so great. Doris, his contributions to his team in every facet of the offense, and how much his team depended on him from start to finish.
You're correct, Kevin. It's not just the average of a triple-double, right? It went beyond that. It was his competitive spirit and a willingness to absorb the loss of an all-time great player, put his team on his back, and get them back to the playoffs. Truly incredible.
Rare you'll see him miss such an open look.
Walker goes in, lays it up off the glass. And now it's an 11-point Hornets lead.
Nice pass there to set that basket up.
Westbrook kicks to Adams. Pass to Roberson. Williams against Anthony. From downtown. Another miss by Westbrook.
It's a +5 advantage for them in rebounding after that one.
Batum passes to Williams. He feeds it to Walker. Screen by Howard. Here's Lamb. The shot's good on the assist by Walker. Lamb's got 5 points so far.
How many times have we seen a possession like that from them today? Ending with a basket, coming off a pretty pass.
Time called here. The Thunder decide to talk it over. This their first chance this season playing Charlotte.
And they had some trouble with this group a year ago. And it's a bit of a head scratcher as to why, given the way both teams ended the year.
And now a chance to take a look at the shot chart for Oklahoma City.
And looking at this shot chart, you can't help but feel that this entire team has played passively on offense. There has been little to nothing going on at the rim or in the paint for that matter. And when you don't attack the defense and put pressure on them down low, you're making life far too easy on them.
And so it's Oklahoma City with it. They trail by 14. Anthony kicks to George. They can't stop the run with that one.
I'll tell you, his touch has been off all day, and now his judgment is starting to go by the wayside as well. That's a poor shot.
Back to Williams. That three off the mark. Oklahoma City's gone 0-3 from beyond the arc to start the second quarter. And Roberson kicks to Westbrook. Lob pass to George. Charlotte leading by 12. Screen by Howard. Down low. Whoops, they pick off the pass. And there's the call on Howard. That's his first foul. Raymond Felton, he's checked in for Andre Robertson. The Hornets also changing it up. Kaminsky, he's checked in for Williams. And it's Kid Gilchrist in for Jeremy Lamb. Westbrook against Walker. And it's Westbrook missing. Charlotte's gone 2 of 3 when they've stepped beyond the arc in the second quarter. Here's Kid Gilchrist. Excellent D there from George. Thunder trailing by 12. Westbrook kicks to George. And George with the stuff.
You can see Russell Westbrook building the confidence of his teammates. Fires it to them when they're open.
Charlotte shooting indicative of smooth offensive play. Up at 60%. They're a machine from the floor. Now the pass to Howard. It's stolen by Adams. And George kicks to Felton. Over Kaminsky. Felton can't get it to go. Charlotte leading by 10. Outside, Kid Gilchrist. Makes the bucket. Now he's got 5 field goals. 5 for 8 in the game.
Listen, he's been a key component of their offense tonight. Efficient and effective.
Westbrook wide open. He fires. No good off the front iron.
Listen, that's a look he can hit, but right now he can't throw it in the ocean.
Outside for Batum. And it's off from 3-point range. Oklahoma City shooting at just about an even 40% from the field for the second quarter. And you watch the Thunder play, and they are just so physical with teams. They will bump you inside and outside and do everything they can do to let you know they are going to lock things down.
Well, look up and down the roster, Kevin, and you're going to see very physical players. Steven Adams and Russell Westbrook set the tone. But you can't expect to play the Thunder and not be needing a little ice bath after the game.
Here's Westbrook, and he converts the layup. Westbrook's got 7 points for the quarter.
I like to watch Russell Westbrook mix it up inside. This guy can jump shoot, drive it, or if you give him a close window, he'll finish that as well.
Walker with it. Westbrook picks him up.
You know, 2 things happen there. Excellent coverage on the shot, and then finish the possession securing the boards.
Outside Anthony. Left side Felton. George against Kid Gilchrist. 6 to shoot for 3. Felton. It doesn't go either for Felton.
And with the success they've had rebounding the basketball, they're right where you'd expect them to be, firmly in the driver's seat.
Indicative of what we've seen tonight. One team being the aggressor, the other failing to react.
Right, really a disappointing effort on the defensive end, not offering any challenge at all at the cup.
Now a timeout called by Oklahoma City. And as the coaches go to the clipboard to outline their strategy during the timeout, the players getting a chance to rehydrate with some Gatorade. That's key to staying fresh all the way to the final whistle.
And Kevin, it really is. And every one of these players knows it. They're all making sure to stay hydrated. It's impossible to play your A game if you're not getting enough to drink, especially towards the end of games when the physical toll of a long contest really starts to add up.
Catching up on the changes for Oklahoma City. Nick Collison's checked in for Steven Adams. Patterson comes in for Anthony. Corey Brewer's checked in for George. And Alex Abrinas subbed in for Raymond Felton. Kaminsky dishes to Carter Williams. The turnaround J. Basket good. Carter Williams has got the lead up to 14 now for the Hornets.
And they're passing the ball very crisply here.
There's the screen. Brewer the pass to Collison. Uses the glass to finish the layup. Collison's got his first basket of the night.
Boy, you gotta love the determination there. He got good position and didn't take any chances. Finished right at the rim.
Kaminsky inside. Patterson on him, and it's blocked.
And we haven't seen them be quite as aggressive driving the basketball, settling far too much for jumpers.
Here's Carter Williams. 12 points for him. Pass to Hernan Gomez. Back to Carter Williams. That's in. That's his 5th field goal. He's shooting a hot 71%. 5 for 7. About 3 seconds between shot and game clock. There's a screen. Outside Collison. In the corner, it's Patterson. There's the triple. They get it back. Got a piece of it. Here's Kid Gilchrist. And oh boy, a lot of contact there, but he gets the call and will shoot two.
Wow, he got whacked on that one. Shouldn't be much debate there.
It's his first trip to the line.
An 85% mark from the line. There aren't too many players in the league who are going to sport a much better percentage.
Shooting two.
And the first one drops. And both free throws good from Michael Kidd-Gilchrist. Just 4 seconds left in the first half. And so it's the Charlotte Hornets sitting with a comfortable lead, up by 14. What a night they've had in terms of their shooting. Everything dropping in for them. And now let's catch up with David Aldridge, who's standing by from the sideline. All right, Dave.
Thank you, Kevin. Michael, you guys have had it going offensively. How have you been able to make all of this happen from your position?
I'm just trying to get everybody involved, really. And we're just trying to work together as a team. We need everybody to win.
So far, so good. Thanks a lot, Mike. Back to you, Kevin.
All right, David, thank you. And stay with us, folks. We'll be back just after halftime to get the third quarter started.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hello again, everybody. Along with Kenny the Jet Smith and Shaquille O'Neal, I'm Ernie Johnson. Time for the NBA Halftime Show on 2K Sports. The first quarter for the Hornets was fairly even. At the end of the period, they held a 4-point lead. The second quarter got a lot more exciting for them as they were putting up big numbers and find themselves way out in front here at the half. Kenny, let's get your take on Charlotte.
They're going right to the rim, finishing every chance they get. The D was helpless trying to stop them and beating them inside. I love the relentlessness and the aggressive style. This is how you impose your will on another team.
And now, Shaq, let's get your opinion on Oklahoma City.
Well, you live by the three and you die by the three. And today, Ernie, they're dying. And as cold as they've been behind the arc, they keep firing from deep. What are you doing? I know they got a lot of ground to make up, but they can't continue with this game plan. Not working.
And that is just about going to wrap it up as the second half is moments away. Down to Kevin Harlan and the rest of the crew.
Welcome back to Oklahoma City, everyone. You can see Chesapeake Energy Arena there in the background as the cars stream down I-40. Welcome back, everyone, to the start of the second half. Big margin on our hands, but we'll see if that gap narrows down in the third and fourth quarters. One guy who's been getting it done is Michael Carter-Williams.
Yeah, and sometimes you find yourself in a role you're not comfortable with, but his passing in the first half really was impressive.
Well, Greg, there's no doubt. This guy has been superb at moving the ball and getting all of his guys going on the offensive end.
And as we begin the second half, first half wasn't even close, guys, and we'll see if there is a comeback on our hands or more of the same as we get the third quarter started. And now let's check out the lineups courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go for the second half of basketball. And Charlotte looking at who they've got. Inside, Williams at the 4, Howard in the middle. Kemba Walker is out there with Jeremy Lamb, and it's Batum in at the 3 slot. And Roberson kicks to Westbrook. Tries again, and he's fouled on the shot. One free throw coming up.
With his fast jumping ability, Russell Westbrook is a nightmare on the offensive glass. What an insane vertical.
And for a while, you had to wonder how Russell Westbrook would play if he was the standalone leader of a team.
What we found out is Russell Westbrook is now an MVP. This guy was the unquestioned leader of the team, and I thought the entire group reflected his intensity on the court.
One shot, gentlemen.
The free throw drops for Russell Westbrook. Doris, so often we talk about high basketball IQ. Is that something you can learn, or do you have to be born with something like that?
I think it's probably a little bit of both, but if you look at someone like LeBron James, whose basketball IQ may be the highest we've ever seen, I think he's a guy whose basketball knowledge is always expanding. And I think if you love the game, you're constantly taking in information. So probably a little bit of both.
So you've always got to be curious, right? Even if you're at the top of the game like LeBron or yourself.
Right. LeBron is just, he's constantly taking in sources of information, upping his ante in terms of film watching and preparation. Really special to be able to watch that guy work.
And I know that's how you prepare as a broadcaster now. I'd like to tag along sometime and watch you prepare for a game. That'd be a lot of fun.
It'd be a blast.
That's good from Kemba Walker. And so he hits both. Thunder trailing by 15. And Roberson kicks to Adams. And it's sent back by Howard.
And Howard takes his shot blocking very seriously. Skying up and sending him back with his impressive vertical.
Here's Anthony. He hits the back iron and sinks the shot. Anthony's got 6 points.
Guys, that's just really unstoppable. He poses a ton of matchup problems for whomever he's facing.
Walker against Westbrook. Walker goes in, and Anthony sends it back.
Melo just reading the play the right way, put in the extra effort to come up with such a nice block.
Kicks it to George. Adams in the high post. Just 5 to shoot. Screen by Adams. Shot off the pick. They get the rebound. Feeds it to Anthony.
Well, once he gets the ball in that close, you've already lost. Anthony will find a way to hurt you.
And beyond his ability to shine on the basketball floor, you have to commend Carmelo Anthony's effort, Greg, to get NBA players and other athletes more involved in making the world a better place.
Yeah, I mean, there's still a lot of work to be done, but guys like Melo see what is beyond the world of basketball. He's spoken out as well as done the legwork of being active in his communities, and a lot of charity work for Melo. It's just nice to see the maturation process play out.
First free throw is good.
Yeah, that's an interesting point about Carmelo. One of the most prolific free throw shooters in the history of the game. Spends a lot of time at the stripe.
And that one goes in. 2 from the line that time. Well, you could feel the clock ticking for Melo's time in New York, and this offseason, it finally ended, Greg.
Yeah, and for a team like this to add Melo to the mix, what a blessing. I mean, Melo still has a ton of offense to offer, and hard to add a player so skilled as Melo for practically nothing. And they are very comfortable running their offense through Walker. And you can see why. Drops a sick dime right there. That pass was right on the money. And that's the battle they haven't been winning today. Their work on the glass has been porous, and that's got to change.
Here's Lamb. And it's off target. Not sure why he took that one. Thunder trailing by 14 for 3. But they recover it. Rebounded by Howard. Hornets have gone 2 of 5 shooting here in the third quarter. Floats it up for Williams. And here now the Thunder. Following this game, they'll hit the road to challenge the Pacers at Pacers Arena in Indianapolis. That's game 1 of a 3-game road trip. Now a timeout called by Oklahoma City. And just a year ago, it seemed that things were set in place for Howard, playing for his hometown team. But in a surprise trade, he was moved out to Charlotte.
And there seems to be a lot of reasons for the trade. I mean, Howard wasn't the right fit in Atlanta, a team trying to get smaller and younger. Never easy to get traded from your hometown team.
And again, no good by Oklahoma City. Charlotte leading by 16. Dishes at the Lamb. Oh, and a fast break for Oklahoma City. Using his post moves to get the 2 points.
And they need those kind of plays right now. Smart defense that generates some O.
And the replay is courtesy of Under Armour. Unleash chaos. It was a great sequence from the steal all the way to the finish at the other end. Charlotte's gone 1 of 2 from beyond the arc since coming out of the break. Williams a screen. And Walker kicks to Batum. Loses his man off the screen and lays it up and in. Batum's got 8 points.
And those are the kinds of plays that are just killing them right now.
Trying to break that ice-cold streak. No stopping him there. Jams it in as he's fouled. A chance now for a 3-point play. That's on Dwight Howard. For Oklahoma City, they have made the most out of their opportunities at the line. They have yet to miss in 7 attempts.
And typically a strength of theirs, 79% on the season.
One shot.
The free throw drops for Russell Westbrook.
Wow, they've made every free throw here in the second half.
Howard with a screen on Westbrook. Over in the corner, Lamb. Off target from outside. Thunder trailing by 13. 3 on 3. Here's Westbrook. And misses it off the right side of the rim. The Hornets have gone an even 50% from the floor here in the third quarter. 4 of 8. Howard setting the pick for Walker to the middle. And there's Howard. That's good on the assist by Walker. Walker's got 4 assists in the game.
And a really nice job by Howard to come up with a high percentage interior shot. His shot selection has been superb.
It's Westbrook with the drive.
And sometimes when you want something done, you got to do it yourself. That dunks the shot in the arm they need to really cut into that lead.
Well, Greg, it's certainly got everybody on their bench up and off their seats and cheering.
Throwing it down that emphatically energizes the whole team, and that can be a huge shift in momentum. A steady screen set on that play, and the defense disappears. Nice communication between teammates to make that play work.
The Hornets have gone 9 of 10 from the line, so making the most of their chances. Raymond Felton, he's checked in for Russell Westbrook.
Shooting 1.
And that one falls for Williams. Thunder trailing by 16. And here's George. 11 points in the game. Shoots over Batum. And the rebound goes to the Hornets. Howard's got rebound number 13 for him here tonight. Walker dishes to Lamb. He kicks to Howard. They set the pick. 6 to shoot. Now the feed to Walker. It's stolen by Lamb. Walker against Felton. Gets a hand on it.
Wow, he is lighting it up here in the second half.
Oklahoma City has gone 0 of 2 from deep to start things here in the second half. Batum against George. Anthony with the screen on Batum. And George kicks to Adams. Just 5 to shoot. No one near Felton as he lets it go. Bounces high off the rim and drops. Felton's got 8 points. Hornets leading by 16. Now Walker, 16 points for him. Now here's Howard. Back to Walker. That's good. And so Howard with the assist. Howard's got 3 assists tonight.
And of the last 6 baskets, 5 have come on the interior. This is just smash-mouth physical basketball, guys.
Screen by Adams. George with no one around. No good on the 3.
The edge on the glass is the difference. It's allowed them to build this lead.
Here's Walker. Here's Lamb. And he overshot that one, missing.
His shot's just, it's not there right now. With his team leading, perhaps, you know, let's focus on some other areas of the game.
It's hauled in by Adams.
Well, I'll tell you what, he's going to buy himself a ticket to the bench. If he keeps shooting it like that, he has been putrid here this quarter.
Wasted no time on that one. 13 points in the game.
Now, Paul George, a tremendous jump shooter, squares up, knocks it down. The defense has got to be better.
So Charlotte calls timeout. They're first.
Well, when Paul George announced this summer that he intended to leave for the Lakers when the contract ran out, you knew what was coming. Even as a rental possibility, the suitors lined up, and eventually the price was paid, and now George finds himself in a Thunder uniform.
Looking at who's out there now for the Thunder. Nick Collison's checked in for Adams. Patterson comes in for Carmelo Anthony. Corey Brewer's checked in for George. And Abrinas subbed in for Andre Robertson. Here's Carter Williams. A tad short, but it's good off the front iron. Carter Williams has got 16 points. And to many, the Thunder came out of nowhere to land George in that trade.
You know, most thought Cleveland or maybe Boston were the front runners for his services, but the Thunder snuck in and made their team a 2-star squad once again. Very interesting to see how far the duo of Westbrook and George can go.
And Kid Gilchrist kicks to Kaminsky. Outside for Carter Williams. Here's the screen. Over Felton. And that one comes up a bit short. Thunder trailing by 18. Down low. It's stolen by Monk. And it's Kid Gilchrist penetrating, and the layup's good off the glass. Kid Gilchrist has got his second basket of the night.
They should continue to get the ball inside. The defense struggling to contain them.
Collison with the screen for Patterson. He dishes it to Collison. Passes it to Felton. Shot clock at 6. And Brewer kicks to Collison. Pulls from the top of the key. The shot that time not on target. And it's the Hornets taking it the other way. And it's Kid Gilchrist penetrating. Oklahoma City's gotten blank from three-point land so far in the third. Still 0 for 3. Felton. Offensive rebound. And Malik Monk is going to pick up the foul. That's his first foul. Felton against Kid Gilchrist. In the corner, Collison with it. Pass to Abrinas. Oh, and that one, no question, powered it down.
Just so fast. I mean, it's like trying to stop a train when he's coming in for the slam.
In the corner, it's Kid Gilchrist. Here's Monk. Here's Hernan Gomez. Takes it up with both hands and rips it down.
I tell you, you have to have a nose for the ball. Picking up points on the offensive glass, that is the relentlessness Willie is known for.
Felton kicks to Patterson. Here's Collison. The second chance effort, and he lays it up and in.
That's a big payoff for crashing the offensive boards. Go to work.
Hornets leading by 18. Here's Carter Williams. 16 points for him. Monk, the pass to Kaminsky. Carter Williams against Felton. Carter Williams can't get it to go.
Affecting the shot in a big way there. Excellent defense.
Well, you talk about getting into the space of the shooter. This is how you defend the paint.
Charlotte's gone 1 of 3 from downtown since halftime. 1:37 left in the third quarter. There's the pass to Hernan Gomez. Shot clock at 5 over Collison. Hernan Gomez, no good. Thunder trailing by 18. And Brewer kicks to Collison. Carter Williams against Felton. Now here's Patterson. He's guarded closely. Fires from 14. Another shot. And he got the whistle, so he'll have a three-point play opportunity.
They've cashed in on a lot of second chance opportunities here in the second half. That extra effort will help them cut into this deficit.
And this is his first trip to the line tonight.
Numbers this year at the line below 70, so when he's getting to the line, not nearly as effective as you'd like.
And the Thunder making a switch here.
One shot, gentlemen.
Westbrook's checked in. And an impressive transition for Patrick Patterson, developing Doris into a stretch 4 in the NBA.
Well, think about it, Kev. This is a guy who only made 24 threes in 3 years at Kentucky. Now in the NBA, he averages over 100 a season.
Here's Monk. Played in with a nice touch off the glass. Monk's got his second bucket.
Anytime Monk gets room to shoot, especially inside, he's such a crafty guard who you want to see pulling the trigger from inside.
Westbrook with a screen for Collison. Here's Patterson. Off target with his 3. Charlotte leading by 17. 6 seconds separating the shot and game clocks. Carter Williams can't get it to go. Oklahoma City has gotten off to a very slow start from three-point range in the second half. They're 0 for 4.
And that's really a function of the offense not working as it should.
Yeah, no, exactly. That's not how you capitalize on the offensive end. You simply have to be more patient.
Monk's shot's good.
And passing with a purpose there. I love how Carter Williams keeps his teammates involved.
And he gets contact and the whistle on the shot. 2 shots coming up. And the foul called on the Charlotte Hornets. For Oklahoma City, they have been exceptional shooting free throws tonight, going 9 for 9.
Two shots.
That one is off. And no good on the second free throw, so he goes 0 for 2 there. And so it's Charlotte taking a 19-point lead into the break. Their defense has been active and effective. And we'll be right back after this. And we're getting underway here in the fourth quarter. The scoreboard tells the story in this matchup, but we'll see how much things change up here. Here's Abrinas. They've got Patrick Patterson. Also Nick Collison out there. Brewer is out there with Russell Westbrook. And it's Abrinas in at the shooting guard. That's the lineup out there for the Thunder. Collison's shot is good. Collison's got the fourth quarter going with the first basket of the period here for Oklahoma City. And the foul called on Russell Westbrook. And that'll be his third foul so far.
You know what? Tried to step in and cut him off, but just didn't get there quick enough.
Monk with the ball.
And Kev, this is why Patrick Patterson draws a tough defensive assignment on a night-by-night basis, sticks right with his offensive player, and forces the miss.
The offensive rebound. Abrinas kicks to Brewer. Westbrook dishes to Collison. Oklahoma City moving the ball around. Right side, Westbrook. Second chance shot. It's rebounded by Charlotte. Hernan-Gomez has got 11 rebounds in the game. Here's Monk, and then Monk with the dunk.
Yeah, and Monk's got to continue to stay aggressive. Don't give in to the defense. I love how he flexes when he goes in for these and ones.
And maybe not as highly touted as some other guards that went before him, but Malik Monk can be scary on the floor. He can get hot like no other, and once he's dialed in, the points just seem to flow.
Steven Adams, he's checked in for Oklahoma City. Williams, he's checked in for Charlotte. On the free throw, no good. And Greg, as you said, Monk has that ability to take over with his shooting.
I mean, Monk looks to get going with his scoring at all times, and he's just got that shooter's mentality where all shots are good shots. That can be a positive and a negative, but I prefer he have that aggressive mentality when it comes to scoring the basketball.
And it's Walker penetrating. And that one clearly a foul. Gets the whistle, and 2 shots coming up. Steven Adams picks one up.
Clearly a foul.
And he makes the first. George is checked in for Oklahoma City. Roberson comes in for Alex Abrinas. Nicholas Batum, he's checked in for the Hornets. Jeremy Lamb comes in for Monk. And so Walker nails both of them. Thunder trailing by 18. Adams with the screen on Batum. The open shot, George. The putback, great positioning on the putback.
Boy, I love how hard Steven Adams works on the boards. Excellent timing for that putback.
We're about 2 minutes into the fourth quarter in this one. Batum against George. And so he earns a trip to the line. Official saw the contact, and he'll shoot 2. And as great as Nicholas Batum is, the one issue he's dealt with, Greg, his entire career is staying consistent during games.
And with his skill set, it is hard for Batum to be completely absent. He can play, though, too passively at times when you know what he's capable of. And he's at his best when he is active and aggressive.
And that one falls for Batum.
And Batum brings length and a versatile game to his spot on the wing. And his defense, always a big asset for this team. He's the kind of player that everybody needs to have out there, kind of a glue guy.
Carmelo Anthony is checked in for Patterson. And a switcher also for Charlotte. Howard's checked in for Hernan-Gomez. Good on both. Thunder trailing by 18. And Roberson kicks to Adams. Back to George. Anthony left side. The Hornets pull it in.
And that's the shot you want to create. They just can't get it to fall.
Well, certainly a disappointing result, but they'll live with the shot. You know, they'll take that every time.
Williams with a clean look. Off target from three-point range. Oklahoma City's gone 1 of 2 from three-point range here in the fourth. Lobs it up for Anthony. That one doesn't go. Hornets leading by 18. Here's Lamb, and that one clearly a foul. Gets the whistle, and 2 shots coming up.
You know, I love how he absorbs the foul and still had a chance to knock that one down.
Shooting 2, gentlemen.
And he makes the first. And Land drops them both. Doors with the players being so athletic and the plays happening so incredibly fast. The league is looking at maybe 4 or 5 officials. Wow. Would that just be more whistles or better officiating?
I'm glad you're chuckling about this because I don't know how the geometry of this works.
Thank you.
As it is, sometimes the size of the players seems to swallow up dimensions of the floor. Kevin, one of the things that Steve Kerr once said to me was, we are trying to make officiating a science, when in fact officiating is an art, and sometimes mistakes is part of the human dynamic. Can we leave the officials alone, please?
And I think if they're over 90% correct, which is I think even low in terms of success in them calling a game, that is phenomenal. And the analytics, as you know, Doris, coming from the league office, is off the charts. They've never been more detail-oriented.
Correct. The NBA officials are the best in the world. Are they perfect? No. I'm not perfect. You're not perfect. Let's just play on.
Batum, good.
And no matter who it is, that kind of D isn't going to get it done.
The Thunder have gone 4 of 10 here in the final period. Not the time to go cold. Westbrook passes to Adams. That's good, and so Westbrook comes up with the assist. Westbrook's got 5 assists in the game.
And, you know, he's enjoyed the kind of day you expect in terms of shooting the basketball. He can bring them right back into this game. And not a whole lot that D can do. Once Howard is in position for the dunk, he might as well start jogging back the other way.
Well, Thunder have gone 5 of 11 from the field in the fourth quarter. Screen by Adams. Off the pick. That one off the back iron and out.
After the strong first half, this guy has not been the same, and largely a no-show right here.
Screen by Howard. Walker goes in. Pass to Howard. And Howard with the stuff.
I mean, physical defense, but Howard just too strong.
Oklahoma City has gone 1 of 2 from three-point range here in the fourth. Anthony with the screen on Walker. Westbrook dishes to Anthony. Over Williams. Anthony can't hit. Hornets shooting the ball really well in this game, 58%. And here's Batum. There's the dish to Williams. Walker with it. Westbrook picks him up. 5 on the clock. Here's Lamb. And it's off from three-point range.
He had a make from downtown in the first half, but no threes since then.
And he'll shoot free throws here. Clearly fouled on that shot that time. The whistle blowing.
Well, Paul George has made himself into one of the premier two-way perimeter players in the NBA. I think you have to put him in that category with Kawhi Leonard and LeBron James. He can take over a game in every facet, guys.
Now, gentlemen, 2 shots. 2 shots.
That free throw missing. And Doris Paul George, capable of carrying a team offensively while also locking down the other team's top wing threat.
And that, to me, Kev, is one of the hardest things to do in this league. To expend the energy necessary to be an elite two-way player, Paul George is the real deal.
Catching up on the changes for Oklahoma City, Eustace comes in for George. And Ferguson subbed in for Russell Westbrook. And he's good on the second. Doris, when you look at the NBA draft lottery, so many of the top guys coming out are one-and-dones. How is that, you think, affecting the way the NBA game is played and coached?
Well, obviously, it can take time because the one-and-dones are typically 18, 19, or 20, somewhere in that age range. So you wonder about maturity. Their skill sets are probably going to be, a little bit slower to develop. It's enough of a concern that Commissioner Adam Silver has addressed it. Whether or not the player representation will allow that rule to be changed about the one-and-dones remains to be seen.
Catching up on the changes for Oklahoma City. Paul George, he's checked in for Eustace, and it's Russell Westbrook in for Ferguson. Westbrook kicks to Adams, and it's sent back by Howard, and he's able to get it back. Hornets have gone 5 of 8 shooting as we've come down the home stretch in this final quarter. Up high to stuff the alley-oop.
And Howard still has more than enough lift here to finish off plays like that.
Oklahoma City's gone 1 of 2 from three-point range here in the fourth. Westbrook passes to Roberson. He feeds it to George. Drains the three-pointer.
Man, that's sure got to be a load off his mind after not hitting a single three-pointer in that first half.
Westbrook against Walker. Williams for 3. That falls. Nice feed that time from Walker. Walker's got assist number 11 for him here tonight. Westbrook kicks to Anthony. Screen by Adams. There's a good screen. Outside Westbrook. Tried to come right back with the 3 of his own, but it's no good.
Yeah, tough for them to bounce back when he's shooting like this. He's been off all period.
Walker dishes to Lamb. Doris, some people are pushing for Holcomb Rucker to be inducted into the Basketball Hall of Fame. What do you think are the chances of that happening?
I think contributions to the game take many shapes and forms, Kevin. And obviously, Rucker Park is one of the most identifiable places in the history of the game. If you're a city basketball player, you know Rucker Park. You tried to prove your bona fides there. So if the committee believes Mr. Rucker is worthy, I am all for it.
And here now the Thunder. Anthony with it. He's picked up by Lamb. Roberson the pass to Anthony. Shot from 16. It's rebounded by Charlotte. Howard's got rebound number 15 here tonight. Here's Lamb. Rebounded by Anthony. Anthony's got 3 rebounds so far in the game.
I'll tell you, they've had to look elsewhere for their scoring, and they've gotten it. This guy has had very little impact on the game offensively.
And Lamb kicks to Batum. And oh boy, a lot of contact there, but he gets the call and will shoot 2.
on the first.
First free throw is good. Doris, for you in evaluating how good a player was over his career, you can look at analytics, statistics, whatever avenue you want to take. How important are the rings, the championships in that equation for you?
You know, I know there is some conversation that's saying if you don't have a ring, your career wasn't great. I would say this to you. Karl Malone and John Stockton are in no way diminished in terms of their Hall of Fame credentials simply because they lacked a ring. Sometimes it's the era within which you're operating. Michael Jordan was the greatest player of his generation. Some would say the greatest player of all time. I would say that Karl Malone and John Stockton, unfortunately, were at their peak, in the peak of maybe the greatest player, Michael Jordan. So in no way is someone like Patrick Ewing diminished in terms of his stature and greatness simply because the Knicks were never able to break through. I don't buy that argument.
You frame that so well. And a wide open look for Lamb. And the Hornets miss again.
And he's trying to shoot his way out of it. You know, they have the lead, but honestly, I think it might help if he'd be a little bit more selective tonight. I tell you what, I'd settle for having as many points in this game as he has rebounds.
You know, you have to be an absolutely tireless worker to rack up 20-plus boards.
Screen by Howard. Walker against Westbrook. Pass to Lamb. 4 on the clock. Back to Walker. From deep. It's hauled in by Paul George. George has got his 3rd rebound tonight. And it's Abrines in the corner. Outside Westbrook. Gets it to go from 18 feet away. Westbrook's got 12 points here in the second half.
Well, this has become his bread and butter. The mid-range game has been good to Russell Westbrook.
Howard with a screen on Westbrook. Stolen by George. Oh, and a fast break for Oklahoma City. George with the ball.
Now, Paul George is an exceptional athlete and demonstrating his insane dunking skills there. Get this guy in the dunk competition.
And it's Walker penetrating. Kicks to Lamb. Looking to get it going. It's rebounded by Oklahoma City. Here's Westbrook. And a lot of contact on that one, so he'll shoot 2 here. Kemba Walker picks one up. Of course, not too long ago, changes were made to the intentional foul rule. In your observation, has this made a positive difference?
Well, I certainly love that the away from the play fouls were extended to include the last 2 minutes of each period. I don't think you should necessarily give an advantage to a team that is playing from behind by intentionally fouling a poor free throw shooter. So that's one. I do believe now the bigger issue in the NBA has become these shooting fouls where the shooter is launching himself into a defender. I think that the NBA will take a hard look at that and make any necessary change, Kev.
Totally agree, Doris. I don't want to pinpoint one player, but James Harden has made that an art form.
That's correct.
Corey Brewer's checked in for Oklahoma City. So an almost entirely new group in now for Charlotte. Hernan Gomez is checked in for Howard. Michael Kidd-Gilchrist comes in for Nicholas Batum. Monk's checked in for Lamb, and Michael Carter-Williams subbed in for Kemba Walker. And both free throws good for Westbrook.
I don't know what to talk about first. The explosiveness, the smarts. This guy, Russell Westbrook, one of the best athletes in the league and just getting smarter and smarter about how to attack.
Carter-Williams dishes to Monk. Stolen by Westbrook.
Well, guys, this was never really a contest, just a total obliteration, if you will. And you can safely say mission accomplished now for Charlotte.
This was a team performing to its fullest capability.
A hugely satisfying win. A game that not many will soon forget. And on the other side, one that I think most will try to forget.
And so this will now translate to 14 wins on the season.
And with the win approaching, they'll take the first game here of 2 that they'll play against this team. Nice to get that first one out of the way and set the tone.
And a lot of players tonight helped contribute to this performance, but in particular, a real good game it was for Howard.
Boy, this guy played with some swagger and intensity on the boards tonight, dominating the physical aspect of the game.
So there's a new procedure for choosing starters in the All-Star game, Doris. Fans account for 50% of the vote, as you know. Players, 25%. Media, 25%. What do you think of that? I love that the fans have a vote. I would like to see the percentages changed in this way. I would like players, the peers, to have 50% weight. Give the media and fans 25% each. So just swap it so that the peers are dictating the outcome of the All-Star. Or even if you just had maybe 2 players from each team, guys with some respect and some nice perspective to fill that role you're talking about. That's a great point. You pick your leaders from your group and they cast the vote. Perfect. Carter-Williams kicks to Monk. Feeds to Kidd-Gilchrist. And again, the Hornets missing. They push it up 4 on 3. Brewer's shot is off. It's a 4-second differential between the shot clock and game clock. Carter Williams against Westbrook. Carter Williams, the pass to Hernan Gomez. 5 on the clock. Kid Gilchrist, and the bank shot is good. And the Hornets lead by 19.
And all the energy has been sucked out of this arena. This is not what the fans came to see.
Well, they took the crowd completely out of this game, and when you get a lead like that, it's sort of deflating for the home crowd. What a solid victory on the road.
And so it's the Hornets taking care of business in this one. To come into an opponent's building and dominate the way they did tonight says, I think, Greg, an awful lot about this team.
I guess they don't need home cooking to feel at home. I mean, Kevin, just a masterful performance all the way around.
It's time now to go courtside as we send you over to David Aldridge from the sideline. David, take it away.
Kevin, thank you. Michael, the key to this game for the team tonight?
It was just a team effort. You know, we moved the ball on defense. We were trying to help everybody out and be in the right spots all the time, and we were able to come up with the win.
Part of a rebuilding team here, Michael. Thank you for your time. Back to you, Kevin.
All right, David, great job. Thanks so much. And that about wraps it up. For Greg Anthony, Doris Burke, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time